It's Friday, December 15th, 2023. Please make sure to like this video, share all my videos, and make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'm going to get right into it today, and I want to start with this. It does not feel like a normal Christmas to me. Does it feel like a normal Christmas to you? I would love to know your thoughts on this. Comment down below. But it doesn't feel like a normal Christmas to me for a number of reasons. You know, in the past week, going out to some of the stores were not busy. Now, I'm sure that somebody will write me and say that the stores in their area are extremely busy. I can tell you right now, just going to the Lowe's, the Home Depots, the restaurants, they're not that busy. In fact, this being a resort town, it is not that busy, especially being mid-December right now. It's not that busy. People are not coming out here. They're not flocking out here like they once did a couple years ago. But, you know, it seems like every day now we keep reading about more and more layoffs happening in December of all months. Companies cutting thousands of employees in December. People getting laid off. The talks of more people getting laid off in the beginning of the year. You want to go buy a Christmas tree? $70, $80, $100+ for a Christmas tree. And when I went to Home Depot and Lowe's a few nights ago, you can check that video out. Nobody was buying Christmas trees. Nobody was buying Christmas lights. Nobody was in the stores. This time of year, a couple years ago, most restaurants, you would be waiting to get a table. This is not the case now. The stores are empty. A buddy of mine who works in the luxury retail market sent me a picture of his store today. Not one person in that store. A complete ghost town. Normally, a lot of people would be at his store. Not today. You can tell that people are very, very stressed out. And this is a time of year where people are celebrating a little bit more. They've got some time off. They're taking a vacation. This is different. People seem extremely stressed. And again, people are getting laid off. People's wages are not keeping up with inflation. People have acquired a lot of debt. They've wiped out their savings accounts. They're tapping out the credit cards. And you can tell. You can see it in their eyes, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they drive. People are extremely stressed out. This, again, does not feel like a normal Christmas season, in my opinion. I want to know what you think. And look, this doesn't mean that you should have a bad Christmas. I want everybody to have an incredible Christmas. And remember, it's not about how much money you spend. It's not about how many presents you give or how many presents you receive. It's about spending quality time with the people you love, with your family, your friends, your husband, your wife, your pets, your kids, everybody, right? It's about the quality of time, not about how much money somebody spent on you. And let's not forget, there's homeless people out there. There's pets at the shelters. If you have the means, if you have the ability to make a donation, maybe to feed some homeless, donate some money to an animal shelter, donate some money to a food charity, donate a couple minutes of your time to go see the animals, to go, you know, maybe hand out some clothes or some food to the homeless people. That to me is an incredible tithe, and I believe you will be rewarded by God for giving that time, for giving that money. We have to remember, if things are going good for us right now, then we have to give back. The people who are struggling, they need people who are not struggling to give a little bit, to give some time, to give some food, to give some money and make a donation, to feed those animals, to feed those people. So let's not forget it. If we're being blessed right now, we've got to help others out. But again, make sure you make this a great Christmas. Make sure you make the time, you spend the time with family, friends, and loved ones. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. I know people will write me that this is a pagan holiday. Yes, I understand that, you know, more likely than not, yes, it is a pagan holiday. It's more corporate than anything to boost retail sales. I understand that. If we go back into biblical times, Christ was not born in December. It was not born in the winter. I get it. But we can still give thanks to God, and we can still spend time, and we can still celebrate the birth of Christ, and to give all thanks to God, even though this may not have been the time when it all played out, that this is all about corporate earnings and corporate sales. I get it. But we can still celebrate what is right, what is true. And we can still use this as a time to spend with people we love, people we care about. Reach out to people we haven't talked to in a while. Again, remember that we've spoken about this many, many times. Suicide goes way up at this time of year. Drug use goes up. There's a lot of people out there that you may know that are extremely lonely, that don't have family, don't have friends, nobody to spend time with. So make sure you're checking on your friends, people that you work with, relatives, family members. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in their situation. You might be having a great year. They may have just lost a job. They may be 6 payments behind on the house or the rent, you know, hiding from the repo man, food insecure, suicidal, who knows. But a lot of people right now at this time of year are really hurting. So let's make sure that we think about others and not just ourselves. Now, shifting gears here a little bit into what's happening in the economy. Mortgage refinancing surges nearly 20% as rates drop to 5-month low. Now, just going over some of the rates. 30-year fixed mortgage rate right now, this is according to bankrate.com, 7.21%. 15-year fixed refi, 6.41%, and a 30-year refi is 7.3%. I would say you have got to be extremely desperate, extremely broke if you're doing a refi at this time. And many people are desperate, and in my opinion, the only reason you would do this right now is you are desperate and broke. So this is concerning to see that refi surges nearly 20% as rates drop to 7.3%, 6.41% on a 15-year. This is telling you and I that people are getting extremely desperate and they're extremely broke and tapped out. Here's another one. That was on CNBC. This one here on Fox Business. Delinquencies are rising for credit card, auto loans, and it could soon get worse. As I get more into this story here, this news article, remember over 50% of American workers last year made $40,000 or less. This, while household debt balances jumped to $17.29 trillion from July to September. That's up 1.3% from the previous quarter. This also marks an increase of $3.1 trillion since the last quarter of 2019. So we're seeing household debt skyrocket. We're seeing a savings rate of 3.4, 3.5%. We know that people are wiping out their savings accounts. They're tapping out their credit card accounts, and household debt is rising while all this takes place. Average credit card APR around 22%. Average new car loan 7.4%. Average used car loan 11.6%. This while over 50% of U.S. workers last year made $40,000 or less. They give an example here that if you owe $5,000 in credit card debt, which most Americans do, they owe a lot more than that, it would take you 279 months or $8,100 in interest to pay off. You see that many people, millions of people are getting so deep into debt that they're never going to be able to get themselves out. And this is going to happen at the worst possible time, a time that America is going to experience its second Great Depression. Think about how these people are going to survive during this economic collapse when they're in this much trouble right now. These people now cannot even prepare for what's coming because they're too broke. And many people still believe everything's okay even though they're broke, which I just cannot understand. But one thing I do think about a lot is millions of people right now are so deep into debt that they could not begin to prepare for what's coming right now today because they're too broke. They have no money. They're tapped out. Again, nearly half this country doesn't even have $400 in cash. You're going to need a lot more than $400 to prepare for what's coming. And this is why I've been making these videos for many, many years, reminding all of you, including myself, to work harder, to prepare more, to save more money, to buy more assets, to have less debt, to get training, to have security, to have the food and water put away. Because this day is coming, and this day is getting closer and closer and closer. Here's another one today from CNBC. Citigroup employees on edge over layoffs, told they can work remotely until New Year. How many of these people are about ready to lose their job first quarter of 2024? Many of these people are not going to be coming back after the beginning of the year. I hope that all of these people, and it's probably going to be thousands, I hope that they prepared. I hope that they put a cash reserve away to cover their bills, cover their mortgages, their car payments for the next 6 to 12 months. Unfortunately, most of them probably did not. But think about this. They're telling their employees they can remotely work until the new year. Well, what happens after that? Well, that's the question. How many of these people are going to be let go? It's going to be, I think, in the thousands. So think about going into Christmas with this news flash that, wow, you can work from home until the new year. Then what? I mean, have a nice Christmas, right? Have a nice Christmas. Nobody's job is immune. If you have a job right now, I've said this a million times, I'm going to beat a dead horse here. If you have a good job right now, it's paying you well, it's paying your bills, it's allowing you to survive, or even better, do everything you can to keep that job. You may not like it, you may not like the people, you may not like the commute, but if it's paying the bills right now, do what you can to keep that job. Here's another one. U.S. homeless count surges 12% to highest recorded level. This coming from the Wall Street Journal, ladies and gentlemen. The homeless count in the U.S. surging 12% to the highest recorded level. You don't have to look very far to see what's happening to the U.S. economy right now. There are so many people living on the streets of America, it is sickening. Yet we send billions upon billions of dollars all over the world, and we're not taking care of our own people. It is absolutely repulsive. Another article today, this coming from Market Watch. Silver's window of opportunity is closing, with prices poised for an explosive move in 2024. I don't talk a whole lot about silver, and people ask me why I don't. It's extremely volatile. Do I own it? Yes, I have a decent amount of silver. I would say I'm probably 70-30 gold to silver, but I do own a pretty large share of physical silver. And I do like silver, and silver no doubt is going to go along for the ride with gold, in my opinion. And many predict that it is going to outperform gold, and it very well may. So I think it's let me be very clear, I think it's extremely important that you do have silver, not just gold, but you have some silver in your portfolio. Personally, I like gold the most, but you gotta own some silver. And I'm 70-30 gold to silver. You might be 50-50. Whatever the case may be, I think it's important to own some of this, and I think it's even more important to own because it's so cheap. Today, I think it's around a little over $24 an ounce. You can buy a physical asset that you can hold in your hand for $24 an ounce. Yes, a couple dollars over spot, but roughly $24 an ounce. You can own a physical asset that's been around for over 5,000 years. It's got an industrial and monetary value to it, right? It's used in literally everything, but it also has a monetary value. So I think for $24 an ounce, you have to own some of this stuff. And I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I own it. I'm not one of these people that, let me be really clear here. I'm not one of these people who promotes gold and silver or one or the other, but doesn't own any of it. I own this stuff. I buy this stuff with my own money. Nobody gives it to me. I buy it. I've never been one of these people to promote something and not own it. I've been buying gold and silver for over 10 years. I think it's extremely important. It's done very, very well over 10 years. And I think that it's going to do extremely well in the next 10 years. And if you think things are going to get much worse, then you probably need to own some of this stuff. Silver could be headed, according to this article, for an explosive 2024 if global supplies continue to fall short of demand, especially if the Fed makes good on its pivot. If the Fed pivots, ladies and gentlemen, now, 1 week they're saying that they're not going to pivot. Just the other day, Jerome Powell and the Fed said that they are going to pivot 3 times in 2024, 4 times in 2025. I still want to see it to believe it. But if the Fed does do this, you're going to see gold and silver go to numbers people never thought of. And right now, you see gold over 2,000, silver over 24. Silver, I think, should be doing a lot more. Gold should be doing a lot more. But we also have to remember that nothing has really broken yet. They continue to kick the can down the road. They're continuing to be able to manipulate these markets and short these metals markets. But at some point, with what's happening with the BRICS nations and the amount of global debt that we have right now, things are going to break at some point, whether that's a month from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now. Every day that you have time to acquire some more physical assets, I think it is a blessing. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want things to crash tomorrow. I really, really don't. But they need to, and they're going to. The question is, how bad is it going to be when it does? What is the future of the US dollar? What's the future of the BRICS nations? And what does this mean for gold and silver? I think that these are very, very dangerous times. We don't know where war is going to break out. We're in 2 right now. We know the 3rd one is probably around the corner. But there's going to be a war on the US dollar. And if you are completely invested in paper, I feel sorry for you, because you're looking at wealth on paper right now. You're looking, going, oh, the stock market's doing great. Why is the stock market doing great? It's not because there's a booming economy. It's not because everybody is out there making high wages and that we're producing and manufacturing all these goods and pharmaceuticals. No, other countries are doing that. We have zombie companies. We have a stock market that has been propped up by the Fed and the government and a printing press and a lot of manipulation, a lot of hope, and a lot of dreaming that is never going to come to reality. And at some point, most people in this country are going to wake up and realize that this whole thing's been a facade. It's been a complete illusion. The dollar is not based on anything other than faith and hope. And countries realize that, and they're dumping dollars, and they're looking to something real, a currency backed by something like gold. We're going to go back to simplicity, I believe, ladies and gentlemen. But I just want people to think. I think you should be extremely diversified. I think people should all be thinking now. And I really think that if you're just solely in paper, you're going to be in big trouble. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment down below. Here's another one today from CNBC. Costco sold more than $100 million in gold bars in the last quarter. Costco CFO Richard Galante said the 1-ounce bars typically sell out within hours. Customers are limited to just 2 bars. They can only buy 2 bars. Today, the gold bars were listed on the Costco website at $2,069.99. They're sold out. They've got a 4.9 star review and a total right now of 800 reviews on the website, according to this article on CNBC. So again, the gold bars are selling out at Costco. I guess people believe that they should own some gold if Costco is selling out. It's selling out within hours. Remember, you can go to multiple sites, multiple reputable gold and silver dealers, like the one I have down below, SD Bullion. You don't have to go to Costco. You don't have to be limited to 2 gold bars or 2 coins. You can go to SD Bullion, you can buy as much as you want. But at some point, this stuff is going to get more and more difficult to get. But I think it's funny that Costco, if Costco has it, it just sells out. People believe, oh, it must be legit. If Costco is selling it, it must be a great deal if Costco has it. But I'm glad people, wherever they're buying it from, as long as it's from a legit dealer, and Costco is a really, really solid company, I'm just glad that people are waking up going, hey, maybe I should buy a little bit of that. Maybe I should put some of that away. So I think that that's really, really good. Another article today, this is just another sign of the times. 17 convenience stores robbed this week in San Diego. This week, 17 convenience stores in San Diego robbed. Takeover robberies now occurring on a regular basis in San Diego. These young gentlemen are coming in sweatshirts and masks, brandishing weapons, and robbing these stores. 17 convenience stores in the past week in San Diego. Beautiful San Diego. Nobody, at least here in California, is afraid to commit crimes. We are becoming more and more lawless, but this is happening all over the United States of America. The lawlessness, no fear, ladies and gentlemen, of committing crimes, no fear of jail, no fear of taking somebody's life, no fear. No fear, just complete lawlessness. I'm going to end on this last one, and I can't even pronounce this name. Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani, the baseball player with the Dodgers, signing that $700 million contract. And I'm probably butchering the name here, but I wanted to bring this up because, first off, I do not support any of these organizations. The Dodgers, baseball, basketball, football, none of this. I like UFC. I support UFC. But I don't support any of these mainstream organizations. And I think that a lot of people are waking up to these organizations, but many aren't. Many people still watch their baseball, football games. And this guy's going to get $700 million over X amount of years. And what does that mean? It means you're going to pay more for parking. You're going to pay more for the beer. You know, now you'll be paying $12 for a hot dog. It's just unbelievable, the nonsense that is taking place. You know, here's some advice today as we go into the weekend. A lot of people say I just talk about the problems, I don't give advice. Here's some advice. Don't go to Dodger games. Don't give them your money so they can use it against you. These organizations are sellouts, in my opinion, and they're going to charge you more and more so they can pay baseball players $700 million. Take that money, take that time, spend it with your family, take the money, invest in yourself, invest in real assets. Imagine, you know, how much gold and silver you could buy instead of giving it to the Dodgers so they can pay a baseball player $700 million. You know, you take the time to go drive there, sit in the traffic, drive home, pay these exorbitant amounts of money for a beer or a Pepsi or a hot dog, $100 to park your car. And I just think it's absolutely ridiculous. Look, I believe in a free market. I'm a capitalist. If you can make $700 million playing baseball, more power to you. But I think that you have to be really dopey to give your money to these organizations, especially when we've seen over the past couple of years what they believe in and how they're using part of your money back at you, against you. And many of these organizations laughing at your beliefs. So they don't get 1 cent of my time, or one second of my time, or 1 cent of my money. And again, paying people to play baseball $700 million while they charge you $12 for a hot dog and $100 to park your car. I mean, they are looking at you like a dope. They are full out taking advantage of you. Then on top of that, they're going to use part of that money against your beliefs. So again, think about where your money's going. Think about investing in yourself. Think about, do I have enough physical assets? Could I use my time more efficiently? Could I use more of my time to spend with my family? Could I use my time to go do some training? Maybe instead of going to baseball games, you should go to the gym. Maybe you should go do some jujitsu. Maybe you should go do some training at the range. I think that you could spend your time more wisely. Again, I don't have anything against anybody that goes to baseball games or football game. I don't have anything against you. But could you use that money and time more efficiently? That is the question. I'm going to leave it there today. Have a wonderful weekend. Comment down below about anything you want to comment on. And again, what do you think about this Christmas? Is this a normal Christmas to you? I don't think it is. And I think that retail shopping is in the hole here. I think it's doing horribly. They can throw out any number they want with Christmas shopping. They can tell us that there's been more traveling, more people are jumping on airplanes, the stores are just selling out of everything. I've been to a few stores in the past week, ladies and gentlemen. There are no empty shelves. There are no long lines, at least out here. Let me know what it looks like in your area. I'm sure that there's people running up the credit cards, which they haven't even paid off last year for last Christmas, and they're running them up this year. But I think that this Christmas definitely, in my opinion, looks different, feels different, and it is different, and it is not normal. Have a great weekend. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. God bless.